Yeah, so I got negative feedback on eBay. So today we're going to do a deep dive what you can do to try to get it removed and how to get it removed. Welcome to Flipping and Punching, and today is Sunday. That's right, it's Sunday. Normally I don't pull orders on Sunday, but it's been a crazy weekend. Our store has been just taking off ever since that listing challenge we did in January, and it's really starting to pay off. So we have 25 orders to pull, about $1,300 in sales, and I literally don't want to get slammed on Monday and not be able to get the rest of my stuff done, so I had to start a day early and get these orders pulled. So as I stated in the beginning of this video, I got a negative feedback. If you follow my channel, or if you see me on Tuesday nights on the Nurse Flipper podcast there, I don't get negative feedback. And you know, every once in a while it does happen. Unfortunately, there's stuff that's outside of our control, and there's not much we can do sometimes to prevent negative feedback from happening. But what do you do when you do get negative feedback? Do you just let it go? Is there ways to get it removed? What are some tips and tricks that you can do to try to get that negative feedback removed and keep your store healthy? So we're gonna do a deep dive in that today, but we're gonna pull some orders first, and then we'll talk about that throughout this video because we got a lot of orders to pull. The first order we're gonna pull is some more CDs. We talked about this in the last Flipping and Punching video, and you guys may have saw me make this pickup on my Picking and Punching channel, but we got all these rock and metal CDs, and they actually been selling really well. We had one customer order 4 different lots from us, and we gave them a little discount on those, so let's pull them. All right, so this is what you're seeing here. So buyer reached out, asked if I would combine shipping, which I always do. So I had these listed for $19.99, and I had these Metallica ones, Metallica and Justice for All, Reload and Load. Had each one of those stacks listed for $19.99 each. They sent me an offer for 15 bucks each, and I accepted. So this one I had listed for, I think, $12.99 or something, $9.99. I don't know, $11.99. They sent me an offer for 9 bucks, and I accepted that. And here's one right here, Creatures of the Night. Here's a bolo for you guys. Creatures of the Night. This has an alternative cover, if I'm not mistaken. This is from 1982. It's when it was originally. Yeah, the copyright on this is 1982 for Creatures of the Night. I think there's an alternative cover to this one, but this is the more rare one. I had it listed in my store for $29.99. They sent me an offer for 25 bucks, and I accepted. So we literally just sold $55 in CDs, and it's all going to the same buyers. All right, next thing we sold a video game, Sonic Forces. Picked this up at a garage sale for $1. It doesn't sell for that much, but still put it in the store, $8.99 plus shipping. All right, next time we sold, it didn't really sell for that much. I used to get a lot more for these back in the day. These are brand new, VHS. Had this listed in my store forever. This won't meet my criteria anymore for listing. This has been up there forever. I think I sold for like $3.99 or $4.99 plus shipping. I think I paid $1 for it at a yard sale. We just kept discounting over time till that eventually sold. All right, so let's talk about what happened, how I got negative feedback. I sold a graphic novel on eBay. It was a Vampirella graphic novel, and I don't know, I think I listed for like $11.99. I set an offer me for 10 bucks. I know it was around the $9-10 mark, something like that. I use a specific box to ship comic books or graphic novels or smaller books. They are gem mailers. They are meant for books, meant for comic books, to help protect them during shipping. And apparently, I also do put them in a poly bag so that they don't get wet. I always like to go the extra mile for my customers. But apparently when this item arrived, the book had some type of damage. Buyer didn't even reach out to me. He just left me negative feedback saying that his book was damaged and that his book arrived damaged. And I saw that probably within 10 to 15 minutes of posting. So I reached out to the buyer directly and say, hey, I wish you would have reached out to me to make the situation right. I do apologize for the situation. You know, things do happen. Items do get damaged in mail sometimes. But if you like, I would like to issue you a full refund, and you can keep the book if you would be open to removing the negative feedback. The buyer responded to me saying that, you know, he was upset with the situation, and he would be willing to, he didn't know how to revise his feedback. So on eBay, there's an actual thing called feedback revision. So when someone leaves you negative feedback on eBay, if you go to your feedback, underneath it, there's a thing that says feedback revision. you would send the buyer a request to revise their feedback. Now, I don't recommend doing this until you talk to the buyer first. So I sent them that. I said, no problem. Just once you revise it, let me know, and I'll issue the full refund. And the buyer reached back out to me and was like, does that work on a lot of people? Nasty, or assuming that I was trying to do the worst. I sent the buyer back a message. Yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is. I'm just trying to fix the problem. So I have issued you a full refund already. Just please let me know when you do update the feedback revision. And the buyer ghosted me. Didn't say a word. It wasn't until probably like 6-7 hours later that he actually revised the feedback. So what I'm thinking happened is he got a refund. He was still upset. Said screw it. And then later on was like, okay, I'm calmed down now. Now I'm going to revise it. So the buyer did revise the feedback. Moved my feedback from 98 or 99.8% to back to 100%. We're going to do a deep dive here. Things that you can do to try to avoid getting negative feedback. Now, in a situation like this, I kept my cool. I was very calm about it. And the buyer actually left me really good feedback. The buyer said something like the seller reached out to me within the first 10 minutes of me, leaving negative feedback. He did reach out to try to make the situation right. Even though I was being difficult with the situation, the seller kept us cool and was able to fix the problem, which I did. So I wasn't mean. I know it was in situations like that, you got to bite your lip, because customer service is a big part of what we do in growing our business and keeping our account healthy. So that's pretty much what happened there, how I was able to fix the situation. So I want to do a deep dive here. We're going to pull a couple more orders, and I want to talk about more things that you can do when you do get negative feedback and different steps that you can take. And, I would say 9 out of 10 times by taking all these additional steps, you will be able to get those negative feedback removed one way or another. All right, next time we sold a lot of Incredible Hulk comic books. These are from like the 70s. They're right here, all bagged and board. So what I normally do when I get big comic book lots like this, and they're just filler, meaning they're not key or minor key. If you guys aren't familiar with those terms, key and minor key, in the comic book world, if a character makes a debut, if a big event happens, if someone's second appearance, third appearance, or a minor event happens, or a small event happens, they're called keys and minor keys. Those are the books that collectors really go after, because something happened to one of their favorite characters. In between those events is what we call filler books. Just taking up space till the next big event, or they're just what we call, continuing the storyline, or just one-offs. So usually when I buy big comic book collections, I pull out all the key books and minor keys, and then I take the rest, I sell them off in little lots, like this one here. I think we had this listed for $44.99 or $49.99, and someone sent me an offer for $35. I've already made all my money back, so I'm just trying to blow these out. So we got $35 plus shipping. All right, next time we sold was a TNA Wrestling DVD. Ever since they changed their name from Impact Wrestling to TNA, I've been selling a couple DVDs a week from them. I think the bottom of the bin here. Let's see here. Turning Point, I think. Yeah, I think this is one here. I think this is what we sold. Turning Point. I mean, look at AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Kevin Nash, Kurt Angle. I mean, you got Eric Young, Booker T, Raven. They were stacked at this point in time, man. Also, Jay Lethal, my trainer's on this one. But anyway, we got $5.99 plus shipping. I think I paid 50 cents or a quarter for that. Got in a giant lot. While I was digging through this bin, though, I did see another item that we did sell. So it's actually this right here, this Banana Republic jacket. Found this at a yard sale for $3. Brand new with tags, why I bought it. Had it listed for $49.99 on eBay. Someone sent me an offer for $35, and it's been up for maybe a month or two. So at this point in time, I have $3 into it. I just want to move it. So sold it for $35 plus shipping. All right, next time we sold it is the University of Tennessee. This is actually team issued, like Nike dry tee. The Nike dry fit tees, as you see right here. That's Ticketto's team issue. They actually put these team issues. They put the team name and then the player's name, the coach's name inside there. This is actually from one of the coaches. The reason why I know this is because I went to a garage sale at the family for one of the coaches that used to coach at the University of Tennessee. And I got about 60 pieces that were team issued from the 49ers, from Tennessee, from the University of Central Florida. Paid, I think, $225 for everything, and we were making an absolute killing on this. This t-shirt, I think we got $39.99 plus shipping for. So it's been an incredible score with those all those clothing. All right, so let's talk about the steps to do if you get negative feedback. Number one, reach out to the buyer directly. If the buyer hasn't contacted you yet, try to reach out to the buyer, let them know that you would issue a full refund. Sometimes I'll even let the buyer keep the item if it's a cheap item that they had an issue with. Whatever the case is, reach out to them, try to make the situation right. And then also to ask them, say, hey, you know, mistakes do happen. Would you be willing to change your feedback if I make this thing right? Majority of the time, people leave feedback because they are upset and they make an emotional decision. Think about your relationship with either your wife or your husband or your boyfriend, girlfriend. How many times have you gotten into a fight because you were emotional or you felt a certain way because something just happened, you know? And then after an hour or two, you calm down and it was like, okay, it wasn't as bad as what it was. I was just upset at that moment. That's when buyers leave feedback. Okay, when they get upset with the transaction or upset when they open the mail, they go and they leave negative feedback right away instead of contacting you. So that's your chance to reach out to the buyer directly and try to make it right. If the buyer says something derogatory, if the buyer, you know, threatens you or does anything like that in the messages that you guys are messaging back and forth, eBay can view every single one of those messages, so that also works to your favor. So there's times where a buyer has threatened me after receiving a like, oh, this item broke in shipping. If you don't issue me a full refund right now, I'm going to leave you negative feedback. That's called feedback extortion. It's actually against eBay policy. So you always have that in your back pocket to contact eBay. eBay will automatically remove any negative feedback if the buyer threatens you with feedback extortion. So that's why I always like to have communication with the buyer, because if the buyer's not cool, they may say something that's automatically going to get that feedback removed for you. So keep that in mind. Number two, if that doesn't work, and you tried everything, contact eBay. Okay, you can pick up the phone, you can give eBay a call, and a lot of times people are unsuccessful with that. It all depends who you have on the phone. I have called 3 times within a 2-day period, and the third time I got the right person on the phone, and I was able to get my feedback changed. Also, if you talk to a person on the phone, because you've already messaged the buyer, you can use that to your favor when you do contact eBay. The third thing that you can do here is, and I'll post a little screenshot of what it looks like. On Facebook, it's called eBay for Business. You can actually email them. You can send them a message on there. They usually respond within 24 to 48 hours. But I know eBay does outsource a lot of their customer service. So if you do pick up the phone and you do call them, it's not like it was once in the past. You know, you usually have people that are following a script. They can't make any executive decisions. And usually they're probably being outsourced to another country at that point in time. So that can be difficult. But my experience with eBay for Business is they were able to fix a lot of issues better than customer service does over the phone. So what I would normally do is send them a screenshot, send them all the information that you would need to do, let them know your thing, and you try to have that removed. But also remember, time is money. And if you're selling hundreds of items a month on eBay, one negative feedback isn't going to break the bank. It's not going to hurt your account. It's not going to hinder it. What you want to be careful here is, you know, behind your username, and I'll show you my username right here, you have a percentage based on feedback compared to positive to negative on eBay. eBay has a percentage on that, and what they do is they want you to be above 98%. If you fall below 98%, then your account could be considered unhealthy, and you could qualify for higher fees in certain categories because you have a high defect rate or you're having a lot of issues in certain categories. You know, I am convinced that sometimes your listings may be suppressed, you know, if you have negative feedback, because why would they reward someone who's giving bad customer service to eBay customers when someone has 10,000, feedback on there, everything's 100% positive? Why won't eBay boost those listings to try to make the site better? And I'm convinced that's what they do. Yes, does negative feedback hurt you? It can, but a lot of people dwell on it. It's nothing to worry about. I mean, here's the thing. Think of your everyday life. Do you like everyone that you see? No, I don't. You know, that's nothing wrong with some people that you deal with or people that you meet. Just sometimes you just don't like everyone that you see or everyone that you deal with. Just like you buy, not everyone that you buy for that you do like, you know, and issues do arise. People get mad at certain things that you may not think is a big deal. So at the end of the day, you can't please everybody, but you can try to do everything in your power to make things right. We are human. We do make mistakes. So remember that. So more of the story is, if you do get negative feedback, reach out to the buyer directly. See what you can do to potentially help. If that doesn't work, take the next steps in there. eBay in the last 6 months has gotten more strict about removing negative feedback, but you can still have it removed, and I have in the past. So we actually sold a couple more boxes, believe it or not. I think we sold like 4 more of these boxes because my stack of boxes is getting high because I've actually been listing them, guys, and because they've been selling. So I think we sold 4 more of these, which is great because that opens up 4 more spots for me to put more boxes up here. So I'm doing this, you know, try to do a couple a day, just try to get these going. They've been selling like hotcakes. All right, so we sold these ones right here. These are the big ones. These are actually 16 inches long, and these sold pretty fast. Had those listed up for $69.99 plus shipping. Buyer sent me an offer for $120 for both boxes, so 60 bucks a box. Couldn't turn that down, so yeah, we got 60 bucks per box, 120 bucks for those. The buyer also bought another Chanel box for me. Yeah, never figures. So out of all these, we sold one of these, and then I also sold this Louis Vuitton one down here, I think for 25 bucks. I took a best offer on that one. So I'll put the camera down while I pull these out. Figures, there's always the bottom box. Why does it always happen like that? So here's the cool thing about these designer boxes. So the guy bought 3 boxes, right? 1, 2, but because it's a little bit smaller, it actually fits inside the other one. So I just gotta bubble wrap it up. And then I only have to get a box that's gonna fit the 2 there because the one's inside the box. Smarter than I look, let me tell you. We just talked about getting negative feedback on eBay. What do you guys do? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys do when you guys get negative feedback? Do you just let it go? Do you try to fight it? Do you reach out to the buyer? I'm interested to see how you guys react to it. I absolutely love when I get sales like this. This is the PSA 3. This is a Johnny Bench rookie card. I sent these in the PSA to get graded, see how they would currently do. Came in one of my best pickups ever at a garage sale. I picked up all these vintage baseball cards, and yeah, my batteries died. I ran out of space in my memory. I can't remember what happened. One of the two. It's when I first started filming for YouTube. But anyway, that was a lesson learned, just like my last video where I'm still learning lessons about make sure your camera's not recording on fast forward mode. Anyway, had this listed I think for $169.99. I think I took a best offer for 145 bucks plus shipping. So I have dollars into these. I've already made back all my money, paid for grading, so this is all profit for me going forward. We sold another CD. This is for the band Gwar. A lot of you guys probably have never heard of Gwar, but if you guys used to watch Beavis and Butthead back in the day, they used to wear, I think Beavis used to wear a Gwar shirt at one point in time, but you remember when they used to sit on the couch and watch music videos and make fun of them? One of the bands I really liked was Gwar. Gwar used to dress up in all those monster costumes. I'll put a picture up here on the screen. They're more of a show performance. You know, their costumes are spectacular. They look like literally like giant monsters on stage. It's really heavy metal music, not for everybody, but their CDs are highly collectible, and I guess they were more limited print back in the day. So when I found these on the sale, I picked them up. This is one of the 3 that I have, but this one sold. I had it listed for $29.99. Someone sent me an offer for 20 bucks, and I accepted. So I think I made back all my money now on the CDs based on everything I sold. I'm at my break-even point. So going forward, anything in these CDs is going to be pure profit. Also, this is kind of funny because I put it on top of the Chanel box. Gwar and Chanel have probably never been in the same picture or same sentence ever in their entire lives. But I'm up here in my office. Can't wait to clean this office out so I can start filming up here more often. It's super cool. You see like the pictures behind me, the toys, the video games, the shelf there full of action figures from my childhood. But it's just a mess. It's just piled up merchandise and boxes here. I just need to clean up and get more organized. But I think I'm going to do that later in the day, so we'll see. Anyway, we sold a couple more DVDs. So this one right here, Against All Odds, once again, it's a TNA DVD. I think we paid probably a buck or so for it. We got $5.99 plus shipping. And this one right here, this is Ring of Honor War of the Worlds, Toronto. This is brand new sealed. We end up getting $24.99 plus shipping for that, and I think I paid like maybe like 25 cents, 50 cents. I bought a massive collection of Ring of Honor, a couple hundred DVDs, and did really well in these. So we got 24 bucks plus shipping. And then we had another big sale from up here. It was actually a comic book sale. All right, comic book sale is New Mutants New Mutants Annual number 2. This is the first appearance of Psylocke. Remember I talked about earlier about key books? This is a key book. Her first appearance. She's a member of the X-Men. This is a 9.4. Honestly, there's not a big difference from like a 9.2 through like a 9.8. So if you're a collector, don't worry so much about the number. If you're an investor or you're working about getting like some high-end books, that's why a lot of people go for the 9.8s from comic books or like the Gem 10s and sports cards. But if you're a collector, literally the eye appeal for a 9.2, 9.4 is just almost as good as a 9.8. It's only like one or two minor flaws that separate like a 9.2, 9.4 to a 9.8. So, but when you have it hanging on your wall, you have it on display, you can't really tell the difference. We had this listed for $189.99, and a buyer sent us an offer for $160. We accepted. This actually came from a big collection I purchased. So I had about 10 cents into the comic book, and it cost me about $30 to get it graded and pressed at that time. So I'm about, say, $35-40 into this book. And so we get $120 profit off this, minus fees. All right, so we sold a ton of graphic novels. These have been selling so good for us. This was such a good pickup. First one we sold is Buffy Omnibus. This is Omnibus number 1. We got $12.99 plus shipping. This is Daredevil. I had this listed, I think, for $14.99. Someone sent me an offer for $10 and we accepted. Picked this up at a estate sale. Bought this in a giant lot. Got the Star Wars book in a giant lot for, I think, about $125. Got a couple Disney posters, some old Disney stuff. This was in here, some DVDs, some video games, a couple other things. And we ended up selling this for $39.99 plus shipping. And this also came in that giant graphic lot purchase we did at the flea market. This is Hellboy Volume 2. One thing to look for is high quality looking hardcover books. We end up getting $39.99 plus shipping for this. So great deal. We're absolutely going to make a killing on these graphic books. So the orders keep coming in today. It's going to be a long day tomorrow as well, but that's good. That's a good problem to have. But all right, next item we sold just came through. Someone just bought this. It's a Slayer double CD. Got this in Peaches to Beaches. Came in that massive buy. Paid $100 for 75 CDs. I am already in the profits now on those. I end up putting them up to like 10 different lots. And then I'm going to do one massive lot with the rest of whatever's left over. That's anything that's like maybe less than $10. And then I'm going to just put in a giant lot. But we got $14.99 plus shipping for that. I think I'm going to wrap the video up here. I got to package up all these items. And I want to get a jump start for tomorrow. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do me a huge favor. Make sure you do like and subscribe. Until next time, guys, make sure you guys keep flipping and punching.